Hello everyone, this is Dean. Welcome back to my channel, Filipino Nurse Returns Home. Please comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And thank you. Today's topic is about Filipino family dynamics. Sometimes it's so difficult to understand. But family first before anything in this world. That's what the Filipino thinks. Okay? So you have to understand, this is one example, is my travel to the Philippines. Nothing to do with my family, okay? It's somebody else's, okay? Remember, I talked to you about having to hire a travel agent to book my flight in the Philippines because I normally do it myself here, but it's because of the restrictions in the Philippines and all those quarantine rules that they have. I have to get me a travel agent based in the Philippines per my sister's advice. So I followed that. So after that was last month, June, okay, I hired her June. So she was able to get me a reservation in Ava Air, and I told you that Ava Air has a problem because Taiwan is on lockdown, and I asked the lady if she can get me an alternative flight. It doesn't mean that I have to stick around with Ava Air. It doesn't mean that I have to stick with Cebu. She can get me an alternative route. In fact, I settled for Manila, and she said she's gonna do her best. That time, her father was very sick in ICU, and I can understand the delays. I really can. So he finally died, but during that time, I was waiting. It's almost about a month already, and I was insecure. Of course, I'm gonna have to ask her, "Hey, have you found? I hate to bother you, but have you found another trip?" While she was in that, she would have to be in the wake, And as you see, in the Philippines, it takes them forever to bury a dead person. Sometimes it's about a week, and I know somebody probably a week or maybe 2 weeks sometimes, because they want all the family there. Sometimes they would even wait for the family to come back from abroad and see the dead body, and I really can understand that. But I've been away from the Philippines long time ago, and I see a different way of looking at stuff. Staying in the United States is so different. The culture here is so different, and I've been here for 40 years. And I love my family, but my goodness, staying with a dead person for about 2 weeks, that's kind of awful. That's kind of too long for me. 3 or 5 days is enough, honestly. In that way, you do not have to prolong, and you can move on with your life. And I understand that you have to stay a little bit with them, but they're already dead. And so anyhow, during the course of time, while she was staying with a dead body, I would think that she has a little time to look for something. And she said she's gonna do her best again. I keep on asking her about that. And finally, I got so tired that the other day, I looked around and went online myself. I said I had it. I am almost like begging for her. And then she said also, "Ma'am, remember we still have the 9 days novena. That is a kind of tradition that you have to have, like a prayer in the family for 9 days." I said, "This is it. I cannot just wait." I understand the lady, but my goodness, I have a plan. I have to plan my trip. So anyhow, I got me a ticket within 2 hours. So I was able to book something, and it's gonna be Cebu via Cathay Pacific, and that's the connecting flight is in Hong Kong. So China is not close. So I said I'm going to go for that, and that will be September 4th, and hopefully I will be able to get that. So I called her. I said, "I'm so sorry, but I already got me a flight." I said I got me an alternative flight, and just cancel whatever I have there. Good enough, I have not paid the lady any money, because when I called Ava Air, they said sometimes those travel agents would book you and let you pay for that ticket and then deal with the problem later. But the cancellation and refund process, it takes forever. Remember, I was about to go home to about a year and a half ago also, when this COVID hit. That refund with United and with the travel agency, it took forever, maybe about 6 months to even 8 months ordeal. So that was awful. So I do not want to experience that again. Should I have problem again, I know what to do here in US of A. But if the ticket is bought in the Philippines, that's another story, because you buy them, you're gonna buy peso, and that's directed to the travel agency so that they can get credit. And then now, what if I'll get canceled? I'm gonna have to go through her first, and then I'm gonna be begging for my money back. So that was my dilemma. So I'm glad that things went okay. So meaning, I'm telling you this right now, that you have to deal with the Filipino customs and tradition in the Philippines when you go there. Just have to really be patient, because that's a part of our culture. Family first before anything else. Business is gonna be set aside when things go rough in the family. Honestly, they can lose the business, they cannot lose the family. So there's a good and a bad in that kind of aspect, but we have to understand it's a new culture. Okay, so that's something to just think about. But Philippines is a great place to be when you have loved ones there to support you. Okay, so they never would turn their backs on you. Okay, so understand that. Just go with the flow and stretch that patience when you deal with family in the Philippines. Okay, thank you guys, and have a good day. Bye bye.